Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 165. And I have finally encountered the ocean, which means I cannot build the railway anymore, and now need to get back to building a bridge. So, as you can see, I'm in kind of a snowy biome, and I have my train up there. We are quite a fair bit from the base, I think around 7,000 blocks or so. Should probably measure that at some point. So what I need to do now is go back home, get the equipment and materials I need to start building foundations and the bridge, and the robot, of course. And I'm going to probably set that up, or maybe we'll do it on camera, I'm not sure yet. And then we're going to watch it start building foundations. And then I'm going to manually build the bridge itself on top of those foundations. Now, this isn't as high as I was expecting. Not actually sure what I was expecting, but I might want to change this so I start from up here, in this height, so that I have some more space for the bridge supports, because I am going to want to use a design that is not just straight up pillars. I want some expanding supports out from those pillars so I can have fewer of them. I'm also going to have just a central row of pillars and then have two tracks on each side, or one track on each side, because I'm going to want to have a second track going along this one eventually, probably, but it's going to be a bit easier to lay that one now that I have this track laid down already. And if you're wondering what this is a snow wall. As you can see, there's snow covers on top of here, and because of environment, when it snows or rains, there's snow in this biome, these can slide similarly to how gravel and sand slides, and dirt can also do that when it is raining or when there is water next to it. And snow behaves the same way as the dirt, which means that if you are unlucky and there's a block update nearby, a lot of these can start sliding down hills, and if these fall on the tracks, they are destroyed, which is not good. So I put up these walls on along the track in certain places to keep the snow from sliding down onto the tracks and destroying them. As you can see, my train has gotten quite long. I have a lot of boxes of tracks with me this time, which I'm going to use to lay across the bridge later, of course. So, I'm going to start preparing, which is probably going to take a while. It's going to take a while to come home, then a little bit of time to pack up the stuff I need. Going to bring lots and lots of cobblestone, and then it's going to take another while to come back here, of course, because it is a long way to travel. So, I will see you once I am back here and we are ready to begin setting up the equipment. Alright, so we are back, and I've been spending a bunch of time collecting things that we are going to need for this operation. You can see I have my train here. We have the robot and the advanced miner and an OD scanner and some other things. So the plan is that from this point I'm going to start off the robot. So it is going to start here. Now, of course, the robot doesn't have any power currently, so we are going to have to fix that. So I have the charger in here. I also have the components for the reactor and the reactor itself, of course. So we're going to put down the charger here, and it doesn't matter which way it faces because it charges anything it touches. Then here I would put a drawer, but I've apparently forgotten that, but that doesn't matter right now. So for power, we are going to want to set up the nuclear reactor, and we're going to do that up here probably because there is plenty of space. I have a couple of CESUs with me. So we're going to put one of those there. Now in here I have a hazmat suit because I'm going to need that to handle the radioactive materials, of course. I'm going to change into this, and let's put this away for now because I need the inventory space. We have some components for the reactor, although it doesn't look like I brought any fuel, which is a shame, so to speak. So I'm going to have to go get that, obviously, which is kind of annoying. Fortunately, it doesn't involve riding all the way back out. Where do you come from? Apparently it was night. I didn't notice that. Oh well. Oh wait, the fuel is in here, of course. Never mind. I am silly. So, pretty sure the idea was to do that. And then I have 2 spare fuel rods. Whoops. Yes. Then in here, I'm going to grab a cable. Now, I don't know if this reactor is stable or not. I don't actually remember. But I brought this temperature meter. Now, I probably would want a NOT gate, thinking about it, which I don't have. So that's a shame. But perhaps I can make one. Should have some logs in here, so we can grab one of those. Make ourselves a redstone torch. Let's throw this garbage away. Get ourselves a redstone torch. Let's get some more redstone. we're going to need a solid block. So what I'm going to want to do, the reactor needs a redstone signal to turn on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this is going to emit a redstone signal when it's full. And I'm also going to set up this temperature sensor to emit a redstone signal if the reactor gets too hot. And if either of those are turned on, the reactor is going to turn off. So let's set this to something low to begin with, like 20. Because currently the reactor is not hot at all. Probably could have put down this other CSU that has a bunch more power in it, but this should be fine. Probably. Actually, let's set this even lower. Let's set it to 10 for now. Then we are going to turn that on. This is going to start producing power. And there it went off. So it is not particularly stable at all. So it's going to turn on and off. So it's not going to explode. As soon as it starts heating up, it's basically going to shut down and then cool down under 10 and then turn back on. It's going to pulse like this, which doesn't really matter, except that I would want to be able to produce power for the advanced miner. So building these foundations is going to use a lot of cobblestone, and I have a bit of cobblestone back at the base, but I don't really want to transport that from there to here, because that takes a lot of energy. It is going to be a lot easier to set up the advanced miner to dig up cobblestone from here, and then just give that to the robot. So that is what I'm going to do, but I don't have any power out here, except for this thing. So I would want that to power the advanced miner as well, although I'm probably going to charge energy packs like these ones here, and then take them to the miner to power it. Probably going to set it up over there or something. But it is currently not stable enough. It doesn't get rid of heat fast enough to be able to run continuously. Let's try this instead. I might need reactor heat vents and heat exchangers, because the heat from these go more into the reactor, I think. Possibly. So what I might have to do is come back and set that up, or get those components rather, and then we'll come back and configure the reactor so it can run properly. We're also going to connect this up to the robot charger, of course, so that it can run, and it is fully its internal buffer is fully loaded. Kinda wish I hadn't thrown away those sticks now, because I need a lever to turn on the charger, so it can charge up the robot, because we are going to have to modify the robot's program a little bit. so that we can we need to set it to the right foundation distance or pillar distance, because currently I think I have it set to 7, which is not the distance I want to use for this bridge, or maybe I have it set to something even worse. So we can turn this on because we should be producing more power than the robot is using, at least while idle. And I need a drink of water. Right. Kind of expecting there to be snags in this, because there always are. So this will do for now, but we're going to want to improve that as quickly as possible. So, right. Now, what was the name of... Right, f.lua, which is a stupid name for a program, but it is short. Let's see what the current pillar distance is. 9. Oh, that is actually what I want. I thought it was something lower. But yeah, right, so I have constructed a little outpost which is down this way, where the track turns towards my base. And in that outpost I have a teleporter. Now the teleporter on this side doesn't have any power, so it can't do anything. But in my base I have a teleporter that does have power, that is linked here. So I can use that teleport in my base to teleport out here, skipping about 7,000 block trip. But I can't go from here to the base, of course, without power. For that, I have this, the Ender Porter. And what this does is when you use it, it teleports you to the spawn point, the global spawn point in the overworld. So not your bed, but the original spawn point. And it takes a use out of 8 of it. And then you can... if I do that, I can do my business, get the things I need from my base, and then use teleporter to come back here. At some point I would like to have some power generation out here, maybe a nuclear reactor or 2. But for now, the Ender Porter is the only way to get back to the base. And of course that won't work once I've moved my base. It is very far away from spawn, which is of course the plan, which we are working on currently. So I'm going to use that to get to my base. I'm going to make some reactor components, and I'm going to bring them back here. I'm also going to make some other things that I might need, and then we'll be back, and we'll come back here, I'll ride the train back out to the peak of the track, and then we'll continue working. So I will see you in a little bit. Alright, so we are here at the outpost I made, which is a little hole in the wall. And in here we have the teleporter the receiving teleporter. We have an ender chest, furnace, a little bit of crate storage with some junk in, mostly cobblestone. And I have a chest, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave most of this stuff here, except this thing of course, and this one, because when you teleport using an industrial craft teleporter, the energy cost is calculated based on your weight. So it basically, the more items you have, the more energy it's going to cost to teleport you. So I'm going to go back to my base with as few items as possible, so that I can come back for as little a cost as possible, because teleporting here is very expensive because it is pretty far. But minimizing the cost allows me to actually do it, because if I had a full inventory with as many items as I could possibly have, I wouldn't be able to teleport here with the current energy storage for the teleporter, because it would cost too much. So that is what is up. So I'm going to pop back, and it might require having to log out and log back in, so I'm going to cut it out, because sometimes teleporting in Minecraft is a little glitchy. So I will see you in a little bit when I've gone back to my base and got the things I need, and I'm ready to pop back here. Alright, so I am back. I have made a bunch of stuff, some reactor components and other equipment, and I'm currently waiting for the teleporter to recharge so that I can teleport back to the outpost. And as you can see, I don't have anything on me because I've stuffed all my things in the ender chest. And this is to minimize the teleportation cost, of course, because it increases with your weight. So teleporting completely empty is the best option. So once this has recharged, which it should be soon, the teleporter will turn on, and this light will go on, because this is set to output redstone when full. So in the meantime, while we're waiting, I made 4 new fans, 2 overclock fans and 2 reactor fans, I believe it was. I also made a Railcraft pump and a new electrical engine, which I'm going to bring. And the reason for that is I found a number of Railcraft water sources while working on the railway, and a couple of them have been very close to the actual railway. So what I plan to do is set up a pump on one of these, and I'm going to pump up water, and I want to see if they are faster or slower than a Railcraft water tank. So if you don't know, the Railcraft water sources work or are similar to the oil spouts. You have a shaft going down all the way to bedrock. There's no cave though. The water is filled with, or the shaft is filled with water, and at the bottom, hidden in the bedrock, there's a special block with the bedrock texture that will regenerate the water over time, similar to the biggest oil spouts as well. And there we can see the light went on, teleporter turned on. I'm going to step in here, and poof, I'm back. Oh, looks like the drone, Maggie, got teleported with me, because she took a shortcut over the teleporter while it was active. Probably going to have to do something about that. Doesn't look like we have power here anymore. Might have to put in a battery for that. So here's the stuff I made, of course. I'm going to take most of this, not the mushrooms. I have a bunch of tanks and my tools. Put the armor back on. Now I'm going to take the train back to the robot, and then I'm going to come back and we'll continue setting up the reactor and such, and start building the foundations. Oh right, actually I forgot, I think I put away the drawer I was going to use to store yes, there it is. I have a drawer here for the cobblestone for the robot. And now I'm going to go back there and we'll be right back. Alright, so we are back again. I've traveled back out here. I had to stop and go back for a bit because I forgot some stuff I left in the normal chest in the outpost. Fortunately, it wasn't too far away, so it didn't take too long. Now, I got some more components. Had to leave some stuff behind still, some stuff that I didn't need, because my inventory is really full. So, I'm going to remove this torch to keep the reactor off while we are working on it. I'm just going to add some of these components. Now the reactor heat vents do not need to touch any components because they don't actually interact with them anyway. They only take heat from the reactor itself. The overclocked heat vents do, however. So I'm going to do this probably. Put the coolant cells next to the fuel rod, because the fuel rods also distribute the heat they produce to nearby components. So hopefully this will keep the reactor from overheating. We'll see. We turn it on. Kind of wish I had brought a thermometer. But it actually looks like it is more stable than it was before, at least. So we now have recharging going on. Yeah, so if this fills up, it's going to turn off the reactor to keep it from overproducing power. We're going to... let's get rid of this. These are in the wrong order. Don't need a snowball. Don't really need dirt either. So I'm going to put the drawer here somewhere. This will probably do. So now I can access it from this side, and I have a little bit of cobblestone. Not a lot. So I'm going to need to get more. I'm going to put that in here. Let's exit that. Pretty sure I had more cobblestone before. Did I put that? Alright, so let me go back to the outpost and get the cobblestone there. So I'll be a second. And we are back, and I have brought as much cobblestone as I could carry. I probably dumped it in the crate in the outpost, forgetting that I was going to need it here, so that's fine. So let's give the robot as much as possible. Probably won't have enough right now to fill up its inventory, but should be enough to get started, and that's it. So if I do this, should get started. Okay, wait, no, stop. That is wrong. Okay, so because of the ice, it thought that there was already a pillar here, which there is not. And ice is not a good support structure for a bridge. So what I'm going to want to do is reboot the robot, have it return, which I think I have a program for, and then break the ice where the pillar is going to be. I'm probably going to collapse around it as well. Let's see. Yes, I do have a return. No, not reboot. Return. Should make it turn around and then go straight back. So probably going to want to break this sort of area, because it's going to go 9 blocks ahead. Let's just break some extra just to make sure. That should do. Then I'm going to want to turn the robot around, which I have to do from the robot itself, because I don't have a scrunch with me from... Oh, that actually works. Okay, good. Works with any wrench, which is convenient, because I don't have the Open Computers wrench with me. So let's run this again and see. Now the ocean here is quite deep, so it's going to use quite a lot of cobblestone. If I turn on my night vision, you can see that it takes right off into deep ocean here, and I would expect it to be like that for probably most of the way, if not all. Right, so there it goes. Robot. It's going down. This ice pillar here was actually from me trying to fix the water here, but giving up on that because I couldn't swim under the water for very long, so it just became an ice pillar. So the robot is going to go down to the bottom, just like we've actually seen before, and construct a pillar up to the surface, and then repeat that every 10 blocks. Oh dear, hypothermia. Let's grab my lava bucket for heat. So I'm pretty sure we have reached the end of the episode, perhaps even gone over a little bit. So I'm going to end it here. Once the robot has come back up, we can see how much cobblestone it has left. And then I'm going to continue doing this and probably start constructing the bridge as well, which is going to be constructed out of Railcraft stone posts exclusively, which I'm going to have to produce at the base home, so more teleportation teleporter uses. And I'm not sure when we will be back for the next episode. Perhaps the next episode will be another Twilight Forest run. We will see. So the robot is almost up. And the problem with the ice blocks, by the way, was I was able to place them from the bottom. I could place them up here and take just a little bit of damage, but I couldn't actually break them. The idea was to place them down as water, or to replace the water, because when you break ice blocks, they leave a water source block behind. But breaking them while swimming took way too long, so I couldn't do it. So, yeah, that didn't work out. But oh well. So now the robot is almost back up to the surface. Whoops. Did not mean to drink salt water. So it's used almost 2 stacks of cobblestone for a single foundation. 30 blocks. Yeah. Ow. Oh. I am dying of thirst. And I died of thirst. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the episode. With the 408th death. So, with that spectacular ending, I will see you in the next episode.